This is Nitya Ramachandra from the NR Hour Sports Podcast Show. This is episode 570. I'm joined by Desiree Angel. She's a big-time Dodgers fan, Lakers fan, and she's a CEO and founder of Pantone 294. I'm really excited for this interview, and I just want to say thank you for joining me today on this podcast, the NR Hour edition. And first of all, how are you and your family doing so far during this tough time?
We're doing good. Just want to clarify really quickly. Founder and CEO of Pantone. I'm co-owner of Pantone. Alex actually founded Pantone 294, but we're business partners, so it's okay. But no, we're doing well. I mean, obviously, it's a different season. Sports have been kind of crazy. The work's been crazy. Just the world's been crazy. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I interviewed your friend Kyla Blue yesterday on the show with another. I had a co-host with me interviewing her also, and she's amazing. Obviously, a big time Dodgers fan, and I also interviewed GJ Severe also on the show too. So
yeah, I actually watched both of them. Awesome job.
Yeah,
and I love the show yesterday with Carla, and oh my God, I can't remember his name.
Global Kid Media.
Yes. Oh my God, so adorable.
Yeah. So my first question to you is, how did you become a big Dodgers fan, and when was the first time that you told yourself, yeah, I wanna be with this team?
Well, my mom was born and raised in New York, so she's a hardcore Yankee fan.
Yeah, I'm a Yankee fan too.
Oh, really? So, obviously, like growing up in my Yankee household, I couldn't bring in like any type of like Dodger memorabilia, or it would just go disappearing somehow. I remember specifically bringing home like a Dodger Build-A-Bear because at a very young age, I started playing baseball. So I think I've always loved the Dodgers. There's never been an alternative team for myself for as long as I could remember. I do respect the Yankees. I like the Yankees, but they're not my team. So yeah, I don't even remember a time where I wasn't a Dodger fan.
So I asked the same question to Clara. How did this? Obviously, she explained it, but with Pantone 294, obviously, is a big thing what you guys are doing, and obviously Alex found it. And what's it like just working with her, and we're working with Alex on a daily basis to keep these Dodgers fans entertained and for them to be able to travel around? Obviously, during this tough time, you can't travel, but when before this COVID happened, what was it like though with all these Dodgers fans and just having fun?
It's pretty interesting because, obviously Alex founded it. I don't think he really knew that it was going to grow into the monster that it has. But it's honestly, Alex and I work in the office every single day, and it is a night and day, 24/7, 360, whatever days a year. It's a lot of work, but we really enjoy having families go on the trips. We enjoy creating Dodger communities. We really like, obviously attending all these sporting events, but it's more of like the communities, the families that we're making across the United States. I don't think it's the same for the other fan bases. I want to say that between us and the Mets fan base, I think we're the only ones who really like travel to see our team. But yeah, it's hard and it's fun and it's totally worth it because at the end, we just have a great time.
So who did you look up to while growing up in the sports industry, in the journalist side or writer side or broadcaster? Who do you look up to when you were growing up?
Oh man, you know what? I really followed very closely Ben Scully's career. For me, I just felt like his voice is so iconic, the way he was able to tell a story, the way he was able to kind of bring you in there without actually seeing the game. It was just really one of those people, or he was just one of those people that I really looked up to. Currently, I absolutely love Alana Rizzo. I think she does an amazing job. She holds her own. Her, I can't really say growing up I seen too many female, broadcasters, and so unfortunately, growing up I didn't see that, but now you see it more, and Alana Rizzo is definitely one of those who shines.
Speaking of Alana Rizzo, I interviewed her on my show a couple months back, and
Oh, nice.
yeah, so that was an honor to be talking to one of the best. I told her herself, you're the best female reporter out there, and she said thank you. And yeah, but that was an honor for her to be able to come on my show just to talk about her journey, career, and about the Dodgers. And she's doing a fantastic job covering that team.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so this is where it leads to my next question. This is a question I've been bringing up to all my guests, and people should be talking about this. Women in sports. Um, what's it like seeing all these female reporters, and especially you having success with Clara and the other females, and not only broadcasters, journalists, and females coaching male sports now too, like Becky Hammon with the Spurs, and all these female coaches. What's it like seeing that in around the world now?
I think it's been a long time coming. I think, obviously there's a lot more that, we need to be able to get into. But the opportunities are presenting itself. I feel like females are really, becoming more passionate. They're creating those opportunities by being persistent, by not taking the no, and just keep going forth with what they want to do with their career. But it's, you know, I wish I would have been a teenager during this time.
Right.
I don't know where I would find myself now, but it's just really, really good. I mean, the Giants came out with the first assistant coach, so that's even more amazing. And I think what's even more great is just having people kind of accept it. There is a lot of like backlash, when someone says they're going to coach a pro male dominant team, um, but I think for the most part, we're just really, really pushing those opportunities for females to get into sports media and entertainment.
Hmm. So my next question to you, I want to, before we get to this season, so did you expect the Dodgers to land someone big before the season started? Did you guys ever expect them to have another big contract on their team?
No, no, it's so weird because, most of our team, came from the farm system, we're homegrown, and never in a million years did I ever think that we would have landed David Price and Mookie Betts.
Right.
And then bam, we have them. They're in Dodger jerseys, Obviously Price opted out of the season for his own reason, which I completely respect. I mean, I'm personally not traveling. My counterpart Alex is traveling to Texas. He's over there for all seven, hopefully not 7 games, but he'll be there for all 7 games. But even myself, I don't want to travel right now. So, but yeah, I never thought in a million years we'd have someone like Mookie Betts on our team. Like, what were the Red Sox thinking?
Yeah, actually, I told Clara this. Thank you for taking him because I'm a Yankee fan, so we don't have to face him anymore, except for
Oh my
we face you guys in the World Series. But yeah, no. Actually, I picked the Dodgers to win in 7. I really believe it will go 7 because the Tampa Bay Rays, they cannot discount what they're doing this season. The Rays are tough and they're legit.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
so my next question to you: what was your reaction when you guys got Mookie Betts? And obviously, you guys have a already talented lineup, and adding Mookie Betts to that team, and what a difference he's been. Obviously, robbing all these home runs, and playing.
Mhm.
And he's not, even though he's not hitting, he's providing in other ways, which is that's how you win championships, providing in other ways. So, what what has he been to the city of LA already, and what has he meant to the team? Obviously, he's going to be there for 12 years. So.
Right. So pre-Mookie Betts, I already felt like we had a pretty solid team. I said this in my other interview with your friends. There's not one player that you can say if they weren't on the team that it would really make such an impact, but because the team's playing that well, they mesh well together, the chemistry is there. So adding Mookie Betts, it kind of just like took things to the very next level. Mookie obviously he, like you said, between him and Cody, like they've been like robbing so many home runs, which is absolutely wonderful. Some of those catches, I'm just like, I replay it, and I'm like, oh my God, how do they do that? You know? But I just think coming into LA, the team already, they're family. You know, they do things together. They have this sort of chemistry. So my initial reaction with getting David Price, getting Mookie was, you know, are they going to mesh well? Like, you know, is there going to be kind of like an ego? Are they not going to get along? Like, you never know if they're just going to be, but I can't honestly, looking at the team, it feels like Mookie's been playing with us for years. You know, that's just how well they're getting along, how well they're, you know, kind of their chemistry is with one another. So they couldn't have gotten a better player to join us.
Right. So before we get to the playoffs in general, what were your overall thoughts in the 60-game season, and what do you guys think as fans? Obviously, at first there was no fans, and now they're starting to have fans, limited fans. But what was it like just seeing baseball in a different aspect where I feel like baseball needs their fans, and what was it like without fans during the 60-game season?
Well, personally speaking, like being that, you know, we do travel to like 14 away stadiums through Pantone a season, it's definitely different. I love seeing the boys play on the road. I love bringing that atmosphere. You know, it's a really, really different environment than watching them at Dodger Stadium. And, and when I heard COVID, you know, was taking down sports in general, because I think it was like AAA that I heard first, and then it was NBA, and then all of a sudden it was like a trickle effect. And just not at first it was kind of like, they can't have sports without fans. Like, what are they thinking? Like, they have to have fans there. Like, what's the point of playing if you're not playing for people? Um, and then I think the NBA did a really, really good job at having like virtual fans, because at
Yeah.
least you were like having some sort of participation. I do understand though it'd be way different for, you know, Dodger Stadium or like MLB to do that, but I really do think like they nailed it on the dot with their fan interaction. But it's been crazy. It's been a crazy season. You know, we were really, you know, Dodger fans were really looking forward to seeing the Astros in person. You know, we definitely wanted to give them a piece of our mind. So it's kind of bittersweet to see them end up in the World Series and not necessarily be able, all of us, to be there, because even though they are selling tickets they sold for the NLCS and for the World Series, we like, you know, not everyone can be there for whatever reason. Like, they didn't even sell out the stadium. Like, it's like pods of 4. So, you know, a lot of us don't get to be there.
Yeah, so as a Yankee fan, we wanted to see Houston also, by the way, so we can after what they did to us in 2017, and but unfortunately we fell short against Tampa, and I think the 60-game season didn't fit well really with the Yankees, in my opinion, because if you see these up and coming teams, they thought to themselves, we can compete in this year, like the Miami Marlins, for example, they made the playoffs. So I feel like the Yankees, this thing didn't fit for them. And in a 162 game season, for sure, Yankees Dodgers World Series would have happened in a 162 game season. But in a 60 game sprint, I don't think it gassed out the Yankees, in my opinion. We didn't play at our best, and we fell short. So hopefully next year, hopefully at some point soon, we get a Yankees Dodgers World Series. I want to see that happen.
That would be amazing.
But
It would literally put my mom and myself against one another for a good like series, but it's worth it.
yeah, so my next question to you, what are your thoughts, overall thoughts in this playoffs? And obviously, you guys are in the World Series, but take me through each series and like a quick segment on each series and how the Dodgers did, and obviously, hopefully they finish it off for you guys.
Well, you know, obviously it was a little bit different this year, right? Because I believe there was like 16 teams
Yeah.
in play, you know, it was crazy. So that right there, it would have never have happened. You know, a lot of the teams that advanced, they would have never advanced, you know. I do think like the Yankees could have went further. I don't know what happened. Like seriously, like even my mom said it. She was like, "We have such a great team. You know, it's kind of hard seeing them not advance. You know." Um, but like for instance, the NLCS, I literally lost my shit. You know, like I don't know if I could say that on
Oh,
here,
you
but
can, you
you
can.
know. That was really difficult, you know, to come up from a 3-1 deficit. You know, I I think honestly it gave a lot of heart problems to a lot of Dodger fans, you know, and right now we're kind of in the same predicament where we're 1-1 right now. We have no idea what's going to happen. Like the Rays could come out swinging, you know, their offense could be, you know, like just take off against our aces. You know, we have our aces coming up. We have Bueller, we have Kershaw. I think Urias is going to be pitching as well. I just like I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to, you know, have too much confidence, but this team is so different. Years prior to this, you know, the first World Series we went to, the second World Series, we didn't win. And when I look back on the decision making that was, you know, part of the reasoning behind it, like I just really didn't agree with a lot of the pitching decisions that were made in past, you know, World Series. But now coming into this, I just feel like we're on point. We could have like I wouldn't have played the bullpen the last game, but you know, they obviously thought that was the better decision. But I don't know, to be honest with you, it's hard to kind of compare because this is like so weird, you know, we like going into the NLCS, going into the World Series, going into the postseason in general, it's so different this season. And, you know, luckily we have the offense, we have the defense, we have everyone kind of in sync with what needs to happen for us to win. But it's just, to be honest, like a COVID outbreak could happen and ruin the Dodger season, you know, like, so it's really unprecedented. And I don't know, it's craziness.
Actually, so I want to get to tonight's game, and I replied to one of your tweets. I said that I'm picking the Dodgers to win tonight 4-2. And Walker Bueller will have 8 to 10 strikeouts, in my opinion, and he's gonna come out firing. He's your ace,
Yeah.
and I feel like he has something to prove. And big. This is a big game 3, and I consider when the series is tied 1-1. I consider this a swing game where anything can happen. So I expect
Mhm.
Walker Bueller to come out firing. And what do you expect from the Dodgers tonight against the Rays?
Honestly, I'm hoping to see them play small ball and not really have an emphasis on home runs. I think that is where they've been shining. Just kind of getting men on base and bringing them in, and you know, with the occasional home run. Bueller is going to be amazing. I mean, this kid, from the minute he started a couple of years ago, like he has been like Kershaw is our ace. Kershaw will always be our ace. But Bueller is a very, very close second. Like, and he's so young that I feel like he is going to have the career of his life. You know, having both of them on the same team is just kind of like we're blessed. You know, we're really, really blessed with really great offensive players. We're blessed with great defensive players. Tonight, I'm hoping you know, I can pray that, you know, we kind of just shut them out. I don't know if that will happen just because the Rays are really like, you seen game 1 and 2, like they're phenomenal. But it's, I can hope that he has a shutout game. But I don't know if that will happen.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to this game tonight. And Dave
Yeah.
Roberts, man, he needs to push all the buttons. I feel like you said, small ball, stealing
Yeah.
bases, hitting runs,
Yep.
driving runs again, especially against Tampa, because Tampa does not give up. They're gonna
Mhm.
they're gonna continue fighting back. And obviously, as a Yankee fan, we know in the American League,
Yeah.
they took our number in the American League East. That's the reason why they won the East. And they're
Yeah.
a tough team, and they have a lot of good pitching. So it's going to be interesting to see. But I'm just curious. I just want to ask you this before we switch gears to the Lakers. But I mean, as we know, we got Garrett Cole this all season. I'm happy that he's on our team. But was there any a chance? Do you guys think the Dodgers? How close was the Dodgers signing Garrett Cole?
Honestly, I honestly think that they've always had their eyes on other people. Like Mookie, like I don't know how we got like I said, I have no idea how we were they able to take him from Red Sox. But to be honest, like I didn't really hear too much back and forth on him.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I feel like there was a couple of trades in play too, even with the Angels, and honestly, our players could have went either way. Like we ended up with Jock, staying with Jock, and he was part of a trade with the Angels, I believe, early on in the season. So
Yeah.
honestly, things worked out for the best for us.
Yeah. So now switching gears to your Lakers fandom, and obviously,
Yeah, I'm wearing my
congrats,
Lakers championship shirt too. You
yeah,
can't see, but it's there.
congrats, well deserved. You guys deserve that, especially
Thank you.
going through a lot right now with Kobe. They won it for Kobe, and actually, one of my friend's brothers, he plays for the Lakers, J.R. Smith. I'm really
Mhm.
good. I'm really close with the family, and I'm just happy for them to win another ring. And but when did you start becoming a Lakers fan, and obviously following the team and all these history?
So I want to say I maybe started becoming a Laker fan a couple of years right before Kobe joined the team. Obviously, like I was really young, so I wasn't a diehard at that time. But I've always been in love with like baseball, football, and basketball. So I always tried my best to kind of like stay on top of like the sports going on in around me. Um, Kobe, from the beginning of his career to the end of his career, I followed it very, very closely. I obviously had a love-hate relationship with him because very early on he was very ball hogging, like I would yell at the TV, like pass the ball.
Yeah.
Him and Shaq were just amazing together. Not my favorite duo. It's so funny I'm saying that, but honestly, my favorite duo is LeBron and
Any
Anthony
Davis?
Davis. Like, and I never thought anyone could really like make me feel that way, but like them two together, I just like absolutely love it. And but yeah, like I've always followed the Lakers. After their last championship, I never really seen the team the same. After that championship, like we kind of traded guys, very few remained, and I just never seen that chemistry. And I think that's what we've been missing all these years. And then when we got LeBron, we got AD,
Yeah.
like I wasn't sure what to expect. I was like, man, like am I going to see a fire team or am I going to see like the same thing we've been seeing? Because you can add a superstar to a
Yeah.
team. Like look at Blake Griffin and the Clippers, like, and nothing happened. So I wasn't sure, like, were we gonna really like push forward with who we had? And the chemistry was spot on. Like I think the leadership that LeBron has taken with the team and the responsibility that he's kind of put on his shoulders to take LA to a championship. I mean, this was absolutely like I'm getting goosebumps just like thinking of it, because like this is like every Lakers fan's dream, right? And like I said, like we have not seen this type of chemistry with the team since the last championship we won. So it definitely was a long time coming, and we're all super excited. So
Yeah. So I mean, they they had a great season. But my next question to you is obviously Dwight Howard was there for two times. He had two stints, and obviously the first stint didn't go too well. But what's it like for Dwight Howard? What's it like for seeing Dwight Howard come back to the Lakers and win that ring, especially for him?
um you know what? It's really great, just I feel really, really bad because, I feel like people were kind of hard on, Dwight. People have been hard on Cruz. People have been hard on like a lot of like specific players. But seeing him come back and, really, really, how can I put it? Be a part of the reasoning why this happened. I feel like, we had LeBron, we had AD, we had, Kuzma could have been a little bit better during the postseason, but we had Rondo and Caruso, and everyone just kind of gave it their all. But Dwight's good. He's not. I'm not like a huge fan, but yeah.
Yeah, so there's reports out there that Anthony Davis is expected to opt out, but he will resign, I think.
Oh yeah,
So,
definitely.
but so what would it be like seeing them both of them, LeBron and Anthony Davis, continue their legacy in the same team, and hopefully they can win multiple championships together and build their own statue there. But especially you being a Dodgers fan and seeing all those stars in LA. But by the way, LA is Hollywood full of stars. But what's it like? Your two favorite teams having multiple stars on the same team. What's it like seeing that?
It's amazing. And, like I said, with the Dodgers, we're homegrown. We don't buy our championships. Lakers, obviously we bought some stars, but for the most part, I almost hate when people say LA is Hollywood, because you come down here, LA is so not Hollywood. I think the majority of the fans, we are like East Los Angeles. We're very like non-Hollywood, but I get what other people see. They see the glitz and the glam, the stars, the everything, right? But yeah, it's so weird. And to have two really great teams at the same time, like I'm hoping the Kings kind of join on board with that, because then we'd have a threefer. So, but I don't know, like having AD and LeBron, you know, I have no doubts that AD is going to resign. I think it's just more so, what is going to pay his rent, what's going to pay his bills. I know he's looking for that payout, which at this point he completely deserves. He brought us a championship. So everything he asked for, they better give it to him. And I kind of feel like the same about, our Dodgers. Whenever it's always like kind of been spoken about that, will Kershaw resign with us when his time comes? Is he going to sign with another team? So I'm really hoping that the Dodgers are able to win it this season, because I feel like he's meant so much to the LA community. And these superstars, they're superstars in our eyes. We see them when they win, we see them when they lose, and when they're winning, we're right there with them too. And it's like we've watched a lot of them like grow from the ground up. So when they're doing really well and they're going to the World Series and they're going to the NBA championships, it's just kind of like, yes, like it just means so much to LA.
I mean, going back to team chemistry, like I said, Clippers with Kawhi and Paul George, they didn't make it happen. But for you guys, LeBron and AD in their first year, and in this unique situation, and when the season stopped halfway, and for them to be able to cap it off with the championship, it's just amazing how the team chemistry was, and especially in the first year, and Anthony Davis getting his first ring, and it was just amazing what I saw this year, and hopefully they can continue their legacy. But I know you have work soon, so I'm gonna make this quick.
Yeah.
So this is a question I've been bringing up to all my guests, and obviously about the late Kobe Bryant and Gianna and the rest of the people that were involved in the horrible crash. And he was one of my role models growing up. And also
Yeah.
Chadwick Boseman, another legend who passed away, and he played Jackie Robinson in the movie. So what would it
Yeah.
be? So first of all, let me ask you about Kobe first. But do you guys remember where you at that day, and what did they mean to you?
Yeah, so, when, like I had mentioned before, like I've watched Kobe's career, I watched him retire, cried at that game, going into, you know, I was in the shower, and my business partner, Alex, he texted me, he's like, oh, Kobe Bryant, TMZ's reporting that his helicopter went down. And I was like, no, I was like, we're literally going to go into this with another one of those like celebrity hoax, right? But then I started thinking, I was like, you know what? I don't think Harvey, because Harvey's a lawyer, I don't think he would, post on something to that significance and raise all this chaos if there wasn't some truth to it. So I know it was heartbreaking. Like it seemed like it lasted a whole day. I know it lasted only a couple of hours before it was confirmed that it was Kobe
Yeah.
and his daughter and a couple of other people. It's just heartbreaking. And, I've said this to many people, when you've watched someone grow from ground, you know, all the way to the end of their career, and they may not know you, but they have been a part of so many significant things in your life because of that connection to the team. So it almost felt like it hit home. It felt like a part of us, part of our own family passed away. And, you know, obviously every single LA Laker fan cried that day because it really hit home. And then, um, to go back to the Black Panther, like holy moly, like he meant so much to the Black community, for them to see a superhero that looked like them. Like, wow, right? I'm beyond, we've lost quite a bit of people during this 2020 time. And those are one of the top two that have really hit home for me. And I'm just hoping that we don't lose any more greats during this time. It's just been, I mean, we've lost a couple of Dodger legends recently, but I honestly believe Kobe's death um, is probably one of the hardest, celebrity star deaths that a lot of us have had to have dealt with.
Yeah. So what would it be like, especially Lakers winning the championship, and now what would it be like for the Dodgers to cap off their season with the with the chip to honor Jackie Robinson and Chadwick Boseman?
You know what? To be honest, like I think they would even be honoring Kobe just
Yeah,
because, like
Kobe too. Yeah.
he was a Dodger fan as
Yeah.
well, and for because we've lost so much, I think like not only like just these superstars, right? A lot of like throughout the United States, people are losing family members, people are struggling during COVID. Um, I think, had this been the Yankees, it would mean so much to their fan base because of what their fan base is going through. So it literally means so much to LA fans. And, it's weird too because it's not just LA fans. Like Dodgers has such a huge presence, just like the Yankees. You can find fans anywhere you go, and it's just to have the Lakers come and win the championship, to have the Dodgers be in the World Series. It's just like really, really bittersweet, and it's like it's sports is an outlet for everybody. So like I said, like had this been another team, it would mean so much to their fan base. And but it's definitely, I feel kind of greedy taking all the wins, but I'll take it this year.
Yeah, you guys deserve it. And the last thing here, would you like to say anything to all the nurses, doctors, and essential workers?
Oh yeah, they're the real heroes during this time. Goodness, like even with Pantone, like I don't know if you're aware, but like we started doing masks because we're like, how do we give back? And so we started selling masks. Every mask that we sold, we donated one to our frontliners. So we donated about 10,000 masks to our frontliners. And literally, they're the real heroes. They're the ones who didn't get the extra $600 unemployment that a lot of us got. They're the ones who are risking their lives day to day. Our firefighters as well. California wildfires have been absolutely insane. And, they're the ones who really deserve the recognition. Like we always talk about the celebrities, right? But we don't really see the real heroes, the ones that don't wear the cape. So, my hat is off to them. And I thank them for everything that they've been doing, especially during this COVID time.
Yeah, yeah, well said. And there it is, episode 570. Desiree Angel, you're such an inspiration. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, anytime, and I'm sure we're gonna connect soon again. And I'll be
Yes.
posting. Yeah, so I'll be posting this on all social media formats so people see your story and your Dodgers fandom, Lakers fandom, and just keep up the great work, keep inspiring these kids. And I love what you guys are doing with Platoon 294, and I hope you
Thank
guys
you.
continue to grow it. Hopefully next year we get back to normal at some point. Uh, yeah, but yeah, just keep up the grind, keep working hard, and you and your family stay safe.
Perfect. You too. Thank you so much.
Yep, anytime.
Okay, bye.